She didn't scream, didn't break down, didn't even flinch. She just stood there with water dripping down her shoulders, steam wrapping around her like smoke, and looked at me as if I'd just set the world ablaze. I hadn't raised my voice or slammed anything. All I asked was, "How long has this been happening?" She froze, and in that silence, I already knew the truth. Before I take you back to the beginning of how we reached that night, hit subscribe, because what I'm about to share isn't just a story of marriage ending. It's the story of a secret that tore apart everything I thought I understood. My name is Jacob. I'm 35. A few months ago, I would have sworn my marriage was steady. My wife, Claire, and I had been together for 7 years, married for 5. She was quiet, gentle, lived by routine. She worked as a paralegal at a mid-sized law firm, never skipped her yoga sessions, never liked surprises. Me? I'm a carpenter. I build, repair, and keep life simple. I'm terrible at remembering birthdays, but I'm steady, loyal. We weren't flawless, but I believe we were good, until the details began to shift. It started with her phone. Claire always left it face up on the counter, charging by the bed, never locked. Then one day, suddenly, it had a password. She said it was for work. I let it go. Then came the late nights, the new perfume, the yoga mat that didn't look like it had seen a workout in weeks. She'd glance at her phone, smile faintly, and when I asked, she'd say, "It's nothing, just Cara from work." But Cara had just had a baby and hadn't been in the office for weeks. I ignored it. I didn't want to turn into the jealous, controlling husband. Until one night, I was fixing a wobbly dining table leg after Claire had gone to bed. Her phone buzzed on the counter. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. No photo, just an initial. See, the message read, "I missed last night. Can't stop thinking about your hands." My chest tightened like I'd been sucker punched. I didn't confront her then. I needed certainty. For 2 weeks, I watched, not like a stalker, like a man watching his whole life unravel. She'd leave for hot yoga, but come back with her clothes dry. She claimed she worked late. But when I called the office, no one had seen her past 5 p.m. all month. The final blow came when I borrowed her car. Under the passenger seat was a crumpled movie ticket. Actually, 2 tickets. Same film, same night. I hadn't been there, and she hadn't told me she'd gone. I rehearsed the confrontation 1,000 times. Finally, one Thursday evening, she came home late again and headed straight to the shower. I stood outside the bathroom door, staring at the handle. When the water stopped, I stepped inside. She was wrapped in a towel, hair wet, eyes calm and unguarded. "How long has this been going on?" I asked. She didn't ask what I meant. She didn't fake confusion. She just froze, like someone who finally hears the ticking of a bomb they've been carrying. Then she sank onto the edge of the tub, gripping the towel at her chest. "Jacob, I never meant to hurt you." That was her first sentence. Not "it's not what you think." Not "let me explain." Just that. She told me his name was Colin. A client. Divorced. Clever. Charming. It started after a late meeting. One drink became dinner. Dinner became a secret. At first, she said, "It made me feel alive. Not just your wife. Someone new. Someone wanted." I asked if she loved him. She didn't answer, and that silence spoke louder than words. I stood there for what felt like hours before walking out and sleeping in my truck. By morning, she was gone. She left a note that said, "You deserve better. I didn't know how to leave without breaking you. Turns out I broke you anyway." That was 4 months ago. Now I live in a small apartment behind my brother's garage. Still working with wood. Still building things whole again. Just not myself. Not yet. But I've learned something. Betrayal doesn't always arrive with shouting or slammed doors. Sometimes it slips in quietly, with gentle eyes and a tired heart. And when it finally speaks, it doesn't beg for forgiveness. It simply says, "You deserve better." If this story touched you, hit that subscribe button. Because not every story ends with revenge or healing or happy ever after. Some stories just end. And that has to be enough. Until next time, be honest, ask the question, and pay attention to the silence that follows.